And in 3, 2, 1, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 77 of the Prehistoric Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Francois Nation.
I'm Andrew Sorsdahl. You're really going to start thinking of these before we roll. What is this?
I'm Tourette's guy.
Like fuck salt?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you haven't been on in 4 episodes, I want to say. We had Thomas Renwick join us for 2, and then Andrew and I flew solo for 2. And you're back.
2 people can't fly solo.
Yeah, well, sure.
You flew dual.
Whatever you think. We'll say that Chewie and Han weren't flying solo. Is that what you're saying?
No, Han was flying solo.
Chewie and Han weren't flying solo. Is that what you're going to say?
No,
to the viewers out there?
Han was solo.
Han and Chewie weren't flying solo. That's correct to say?
Han was solo.
You were saying they were flying... They weren't even flying, in your opinion, probably.
No, they were in tandem.
Okay.
With a duality.
Lots of interesting stuff you're saying.
Specific,
haven't been here for 4 episodes, and
specific duality.
You've
it's a dual thing.
Formulated some interesting opinions.
Comment below if you think Han and Chewie were flying solo or as a duality.
A duality.
The duality. If they represent the duality of man.
Has anybody out there ever tried dog food? Just eating raw dog food. It's a great video on the internet of a guy who eats dog food.
He says, he's like this other guy. He's like, a lot of people out there telling me that their dog won't eat the shitty dog food over the expensive dog food, so I'm going to give it a try and let you know what I think. And he eats the shitty one, and then he smells it. He's like already gagging. He eats it, and he pukes so much. And then he opens the good dog food, and pukes upon the smell of the good dog food. Then he eats it, and then he pukes some more. And he says, "See, they both shit.
They both taste terrible.
They both taste terrible."
I don't think I could eat dog food. I mean, if I was hungry enough, you bet I honestly could.
I feel like dry dog food might be better. You have to chew it more, but the smell wouldn't be quite as visceral.
The smell of soft food is pungent.
Yeah.
What do you think, Fran? Do you like the smell of soft food?
I can't really think. I've never really fed an animal soft food before. I've never had a
dog.
Never had a dog or a cat. My mom has, but I've never owned an animal that I cared about.
That cat food that I had to feed that fucking cat. Was whoa, yeah, that was like top dollar expensive cat food. I would eat that. It was more honestly, like, it was like it was the stuff that he ate was like just like shredded chicken. I would guess it's about the same quality as that Kirkland canned chicken that you got at Costco.
Right.
Like, you just put a little bit of mayo in that, fucking make some chicken salad, probably be fine.
So you had to feed top-notch cat food to a cat that you later abandoned.
I didn't abandon it. The cat was abandoned with me, and then I had to make arrangements for that cat
to be
taken care of by somebody else. Well, no, this other person made the arrangements. I had to do all the facilitating to make that happen.
But in the interim, while the person was deciding whether or not they wanted the cat, you had to feed it exclusively top-notch
months. Yep.
Top-notch cat food.
Yeah.
At their behest.
Yep.
Specifically arranged for the cat to eat at your expense.
Yep.
Only the most top-notch cat.
No, it wasn't. I think they paid me back.
No.
For some of it, not all of it though. I definitely spent more than I was paid back for sure.
On some of that top-notch shit.
Yeah. Anyways, we should switch topics. So, what suddenly made you lose interest in somebody that you were pursuing romantically? Is there anything that you were interested in somebody and you found out a detail about their personality or whatever, and then that had you lose interest in that person? It's like you found out some really weird quirk or something, and then you're like, oh, no thanks.
I really don't remember.
You really don't remember? It's been so long for you.
Yeah.
You're basically already married, even though you're not technically married. Are you guys aren't common law yet. You haven't been living together for.
No.
And then now you're not living together anymore.
Yeah.
Huh. You just escaped that.
No. I already had an agreement.
But you escaped it still by like timing, right?
No. God, no. We lived together here for 2 years. And we lived in Lindsay Drive together for 2 years.
No, but you weren't there for most of Lindsay Drive.
Yeah, but my stuff was all there and I got mail there.
Yeah.
Don't let the system screw you over. Have protection. Wear Excel gum. I don't know. Like most targets I ever remember having before I got in my most recent relationship was just target, acquire, execute, move on. Like there was no time to be.
Fran, you're a very particular person. What is your process for weeding out potential partners?
Formerly.
I'm
You're
just,
so happy right now, but what?
if we want to switch this to like a friend thing, like how I weed out friends from other friends, like
How did you use to weed out romantic interests?
I just don't think I had any romantic interests.
No, you did. You had a shitload.
I mean, none that I can recall.
I think the first thing I remember is like, it's like, do any of my friends even know who this person is? It's like yes or no. And it's like if yes, don't even ever talk to them.
I'm not like that. No. I definitely want my significant other. Like if I was put in that place, has to get along with my friend group for sure.
Well, get along with like Fran's saying date outside of your friend group, has always said, because then if you break up, then it's not like.
Yeah, but sometimes there are
situations.
some dimes in your friend group, and you just have to.
Fran would say no.
No, I know. He would say no because where you found your relationships were the seedy alleys. And
the seedy underbelly.
The underbelly is the whole country.
The bottom of the barrel as far as Tinder is concerned. Not bottom. That makes it sound like low quality. That's not really the case. It's just...
No. Just where the vagabonds tread. They tread their little feet. How do you weed out a friend? I
gotta think about that because I know for sure in film school there were people that I thought were awesome, and then only to find out later that they were. There's one kid I can think of in particular, and I'm not gonna name. He's got the weirdest name, but I'm not gonna say that. But I wish I kind of could now. But he was this kid who was in a class one. He's in one class ahead of me, so he had started school 2 months before I did. And he just seemed, I don't know why, but just from my first perception of him, my first year, I just thought he was hot shit for some reason. Looked really cool, he was dressed really trendy, he was one of those kids who kind of had like anime hair. He was of some nondescript Asiatic country that I wasn't sure he was. He just seemed really sweet. He was like short and stuff, but I don't know. He just seemed like he knew stuff and he knew people and like, I don't know. And my first year, I was just too intimidated. I'm like, I'm never going to talk to him. He looks way too cool and like he knows what's going on and too old and stuff. And then, lo and behold, my second year, he happened to be in my class. So I guess he took like a 4-month break and then was put into my class. And he was just the biggest fucking like douchebag. Excuse me.
Wow.
Yikes.
Oh, wow. Reefer man.
Excuse me. Need to lay off that reefer man. He was just the biggest douchebag ever, and like he was this kid who just constantly. I'm just gonna, if anybody I know watches this podcast, I'm gonna give him away right now. But it was every fucking class we would be discussing whatever movie or whatever thing, and he would always bring up. He'd be like, "Hey, do we need to do stunts in this project? Because I know how to do stunts, and I can do stunts." And it was like the weirdest thing that he would always bring this up, and he was like, "You've never done stunts before. Stop saying you know how to do fucking stunts. Like, it's so weird." And anyways, he was one of those kids who just like, he was like, "Yeah, I do parkour stunts and I know kickboxing, but like I'm self-taught kickboxer, parkour artist." And it's like, the fuck. And I mean, not nothing against the kid. Like it's just most people drop, like even me, I was late with the whole imagination game as we all discussed. But most people kind of drop the imagination thing after a while. But he was like full on in still. He was like a 24-year-old man, still full on in like, I know parkour. And I like just imagination mode, like just like.
That's completely fabricated.
It's completely fabricated. Everything he's saying, it's like, I don't understand. And like I have nothing against people who want to become stuntmen and all that, but it's like I feel like.
Stating that you can do something that you can't is just
so weird.
Yeah.
And it's like becoming stuntman is like, I don't know anything about it, but I would imagine it's a really rigorous,
it's just like
and difficult thing to do, and it's like you probably break lots of bones before you get to that point where you can say you're a stuntman. It's just like,
or is it one of those things where it's like, if you're willing to take the risk, yeah, you're a stuntman. Like if you're willing,
maybe, I don't know.
It's like,
I mean, I know you have to have certification.
And for me, that's very akin to people, the people that you. The pejorative you dealt with in high school that are to the effect of, you want to fight? Like, my dad's a cop. It's like, he learned to fight. It's like, that doesn't
there was someone we went to high school with who he's this very, I don't even give anything away about him, but he was a very unintimidating fellow. And he was a fellow. He wasn't a man or a boy. He was a fellow, if that gives you any
what kind of indication.
And he would almost got in a fight with Brad one time, and he said, "My dad's a prison guard."
It's like, I'm still gonna kick your fucking ass. And then that was when I did that whole thing where I was like, I'm gonna kick your ass, then I'm gonna kick your dad's ass, then my dad's gonna kick your ass, then my dad and I are gonna kick your ass. Then I'm going to kick you and your dad's ass.
And my dad.
Then my dad is going to kick your dad's ass and your ass. Then the two of us are going to kick both your asses. And then I'm going to kick my dad's ass. It's like, I get every kind of pairing. It's like, that you and my dad are going to get your asses kicked by me. And then both of our dads, I'm going to kick both their asses. Like, I don't care about his prison guard. Like, I'm Tommy Tough Knuckles. Welcome to the jungle, baby.
That's such a weird thing. It's like in Step Brothers with the whole, he says he's gonna go into the family business, but you're a medical doctor. I keep telling him that, but he keeps saying it's all about who you know.
Yeah. No, it was funny, that whole situation, because Brad turned around and this fellow, not a gentleman or a man, this fellow raised his hand as if to cock back and throw a punch. Before he could even do it, I put him in that full Nelson and pedaled him to the ground. And then Brad turned around and was like, "What's going on?" Because that's the thing. If he had thrown the punch, not that it was gonna like damage you, but that would have been like then it was a fight. Yeah. As soon as he threw the punch, then he's getting his face caved in by Brad.
Yeah.
And
I was having no time for him.
No, he was very out of line and thought he was very much in the right.
So wait, what did you do that made him want to fight you?
I was sleeping with my ex-girlfriend, who he was in love with. I was like, yeah, I broke up with her, and I'm still back with her, and I don't care what you do.
There was alcohol involved.
And he really liked her a lot. I was like, I don't care about her, and I don't care about you.
She is a beautiful woman,
yeah,
and I love her.
Yeah.
Without saying the "I love you" part, he was like, you just like,
stop disrespecting her.
That's exactly what it was.
It's like,
exactly what it was.
And like
and she was really uncomfortable. Like,
I am by no way.
She was like, I love it.
And it's like, I wasn't using her. Like, we were using each other, and we didn't care about each other at all.
It was like, hey, like it was basically like, hey, do you want to fuck? And it's like, yeah.
I will protect your honor.
Yeah.
I will protect you. I will protect you.
It was very funny. It was a very funny situation.
And then I fucking railroaded her in a back alley. It was awesome.
Like that night you did.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Like minutes later. Like within the next.
You had already done it before, and then you came back to the party, and then somehow it got out that you guys went and banged, and this whole scene happened like when you guys were going back out to bang again in the alley again. And then everyone came outside.
This poor kid, he's like...
Joe makes his... Oh. We're going to have to edit that out. I got caught up in the story. This fellow... Well, reset here. This fellow makes this big scene. And I got caught up in the story there. This fellow makes this big scene and brings like everyone at this like small gathering outside to witness this like he's going to call Brad out thing. And then
I will remember you.
We have to. We actually do. We are. That's gonna be cut. That has to be cut out. Yeah.
Well, it's only a first name.
Yeah, I'm not cutting this part. That's staying in.
Okay, great.
What's
We'll remember that.
I mean, we're blameless, right?
Yeah, I didn't do anything wrong.
We didn't do anything wrong.
Little homie.
You bet.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say though, that that's so funny. Like the whole, he doesn't love you. I love you.
He doesn't appreciate you. The way it's like, shut up, small fellow.
Shut up.
Like I'm.
He was very. I honestly can't think of anyone less intimidating.
I feel bad looking back because like I was totally like the tougher guy that she would liked, and he was the old friend that never got any. Like they got friend zoned. Like it was a movie, and I got to be like the.
You were Biff.
Yeah, I was Biff.
Yeah.
I was totally Biff, and he
You're
was
like,
totally in love
get
with me
out
the
of
whole
my
time.
way, small fry.
Except that's one of the things that, like,
And like really
I think
Dawson's Creek, like we all hung out in the same group.
yeah. I feel
This
like
kid was a friend of yours?
nah, kinda.
Kind of.
He wasn't an enemy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't.
He wasn't an enemy.
Like I don't
He
know.
wasn't a target yet.
Target.
No, I mean, like, I think the thing that people get, like, guys especially get trapped in, and I know myself, like, when you're, like, kind of like an awkward guy around women, in this, especially in high school, it's like, I put in all this time as their friend, and they won't fuck me. And it's like, I'm owed that. It's like, it's even though you don't directly make that, like, connection.
Some
it's like,
guys do directly.
Oh,
make
for
that
sure.
Oh, for sure. There's an entire like internet following. That's
Yeah,
that way.
exactly. So I feel like this fellow, who shall remain nameless, maybe his name is Bill, maybe it's Job, maybe it's a number of different common names, John even. This fellow though, I think he
Joni?
Joni. I think he might have had some of that entitlement going on, where it's like, I've been her friend since elementary school, and you sweep in there with your fucking tough guy attitude, and you're not respecting her enough, and I respect her, and she should love me.
Yeah, it's like, why isn't she
Just love
throwing me in the back alley?
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
And it was this whole thing, and there was alcohol involved also, to be fair, but it was mostly just like everyone was like, ugh, like no one wanted any part of it. No one thought that he was in the right. Everyone was just kind of like, this is just not a good scene.
It was so funny.
It was afterwards. It was very funny.
I got to be Biff.
I don't know.
Like I was your worst nightmare in high school.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
Like if you had been in that scenario, because you would have been like the gallant,
Yeah, but I don't.
charming, chivalrous, and I was just out there like, yeah, party.
In no world would I ever do what that kid did.
No, God no. But you would have made a playlist about it.
Yeah, that's
Like
more.
cent-
That's
center-
more. That's
Like
more.
3
accurate.
CD changer, big time.
Sent a package with candies and movies and playlists.
That is more me.
Yeah.
More respecting in the shadows is what I do.
Right, exactly. Like really distantly
Like
respect you.
like so much of a little bitch that I could. There's the part.
She doesn't know who I am.
She doesn't
Give a damn about
Fran,
me.
because he's just a teenage dirt bag
Hey, I'm
baby.
I'm ready.
Like you wouldn't even pick her for your volleyball team because you're too scared.
That's fine.
Like to pick up volleyball.
My-
I can just make her.
My number one
Walks
thing that
later.
just
Yeah.
turns me off of a person, whether it's romantically or friend group, is being really, I guess, like offended by stuff. I guess.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I'm done for. You're done
Yeah.
for. We're not friends.
just immediately. That is really off-putting to me.
I'm a very polarizing person, and I know that a lot of the times
big
I
time,
put
yeah.
people off big time.
I'm trying to think. I have. two friends I can think of that you directly. They were like one in particular that was that's been rectified and is not a problem anymore. But I remember in high school I had a very good friend of mine who was like, because that's the thing is I was very good friends with you, and I would say in high school even before we were really friends, I just thought I just liked you a lot and thought you were funny. And
because I'm awesome and funny.
Because you're awesome and funny. Anyways, this friend of mine who was like, he just hated you for some reason. I'm like, I don't understand at all. And then you kind of describe it, and I'm like, it's this weird perception thing where it's like, it's the whole first impressions do a lot, I think, because it's like he just would have seen you doing one thing with somebody, and then it just ruined his whole experience of you. Yeah. And it was just years and years and years before he was willing to throw that aside. I think it's big time just because like I spent so much time with you, and he was just like, well, it's like, how is he spending time with this person that I don't like? And then he was able to kind of work that, and then it's totally different now. But it is bizarre how you are very polarizing.
You're a polarizing figure, yeah.
Oh, totally.
And I mean, like, I would say
very few people feel lukewarm about me.
Yeah, they either really like you or they really.
And it's funny if you talk to one group, very rarely is it like, yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you hate Brad? Like, why do you like Brad?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like it's very similar to some of the other things that we found out that you either fall in one camp or you fall in another camp.
And those are.
I just found out about this yesterday. In all my 25 years, I did not know that some people stand up to wipe their ass when they take a shit. I did not know that was a thing that people did. As like a regular thing, yeah.
Some people do.
That is just so crazy to me that that's a thing that people do.
Yeah, some people do and some people do not.
Yeah. Some people do and some people do not.
But you can't do both or be in both camps.
I mean, maybe. No,
you have to be very conscientious if you wanted to be in the sit down and the stand up camp. You have to be like, what did I do yesterday? Sat down. So
I feel like maybe if like you have like a really big blowout, like you might by default have to become the stand up camp if you're a sit down. Like if you shit like all over and you need to like stand to like get better coverage. I don't know.
Like in that situation, you're like turning around and you're like wiping the wall a bit.
Not wiping the wall. I'm talking.
I personally have never defecated like that before.
I also have never personally experienced that. I'm just saying that's the only scenario.
I didn't even know that existed.
Well, you don't have kids. You haven't seen the capabilities of the human digestive system and what shit can do.
It's incredible.
It is, yeah. When you wake up in the middle of the night and your child is shit all up their back, all the way from butt crack to neck. There's poop.
I don't know if I'm gonna have kids.
Yeah, it's not for the weak of stomach.
I just like if you can find a good kennel for them.
Like the first 3 or 4 years of their life, they're basically a dog.
Is there a good kennel?
They crawl around in their tunnel and they shit. And then you pay somebody else to come and you clean.
Is there a good kennel in the city?
I don't know.
Well, that's not legal. The only way you'd be able to do that is if you got a kennel in your own home so that nobody else can see.
No, just like the idea of a kennel.
For kids.
Where it's like...
For babies.
I give them the leash and then I go to Maui.
You're in a financial situation where you could probably hire somebody to take care of your kid for the first 4 or 5 years of their life.
Just hire like a Guatemala.
No, but I want to be there to give the leash off just for when I'm in Guatemala.
Well, no, yeah, absolutely.
I gotta need a full-time guy.
We get you a nice little cat collar, a nice little leash, and then we just the one-time use, put her on your baby, and then you give it to your
nanny.
Yuck. And then you fly off to Guatemala or wherever. Or Maui.
Or Cancun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And like I don't want to touch it. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Why are you here? How did you get in here?
What is it, Anchorman? No eye contact.
Hey chap, no eye contact. So comment below if you sit down or stand up to wipe your ass after you shit. Hopefully we're gonna get any on that one.
I think the Western concept of wiping with paper is just needs to.
Andrew is a bidet.
I've actually never used one, but it's just like I listened to this podcast called Your Mom's House. This is something they frequently talk about, how they have bidets, like the bidet toilets, like the Japanese toilets, like it's the best thing ever. You need to do this, like you actually have a clean butthole. You thought you had a clean butthole before, but you're just mashing feces against it with paper. Like you're not actually ever getting clean.
Every time you discuss the cleaning of your anus, you always use the word mashing. Like I don't know what motion you're using.
It's like half a log, and he's just kind of stuffing it back in, and then wiping what was left.
Yeah.
No, I just think
it's like how a bear
default
seals its butthole with a bit of its poop. Like that's
a bear does.
Yeah, like when they go into hibernation.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what they do. They seal their buttholes with a bit of their poop, and it dries. And that's kind of what you have to do. Is
why do they do that?
So they don't shit while they're in hibernation, and they don't fucking die or something. So they can keep the maximum amount of shit and stuff inside, and then when they go out for that first shit, ooh boy,
watch out. Yeah.
That's
how long do they sleep for?
Months, like 3, 4, 5 months, I think.
That's fucking crazy. Let's talk about how crazy bear hibernation is.
A third of the year almost.
Like it makes sense to me that like fish and shit freeze and like bugs don't come out for months. Like these are huge mammals.
Got me 1, 2 there, friend.
Like these are huge mammals and they just sleep for months.
Oh yeah. What do they say about cats too? Is they sleep for more than half their life?
I know, but like, how does
in one go? You mean?
Yeah.
Hibernation is a very bizarre thing.
Apparently that, and there's that one frog who can like go totally dead and then be like frozen dead and then be regenerated.
Yeah.
So apparently it's between those two things that the key to cryogenics may be.
In that same vein, it's like the one thing that really fucks with me is like year cycles are very weird to me. Just like how we as human beings, how early in society we kind of figured out basically the 365-day year and seasons and everything. It's a very weird thing. There's a lot of shit today that we take for granted that was discovered thousands of years ago that we just never even think about. But it's like if you just think about how we kind of figured out that a year is 365, because like the human lifespan is only 80 to 100 years. Back then it was like 30, 40 years. So that for them to figure that out was just fascinating. But in that same vein, figuring out the year that's 365 days, then figuring out seasons and stuff. But a weird thing is animals that follow patterns, seasonal patterns yeah. That it's like seem to be human constructs almost. Like a 365-day year seems like a human construct. But things like menstruation is one that really weirds me out. That it's this monthly. It's so regimented from what I've read about it. It's very weirdly mathematical. And the other thing is cicadas, or I think that's a species of bug. There's a species of bug, I think they're called cicadas.
They're cicadas.
They come out every 12 years in New Zealand. And that's the weirdest thing. It's like, I don't even understand how it fucking works. Because it's like, they essentially lie dormant. And it's like, how can, like, 99.9% species of bugs, their lifespan is less than a year. Most of them are well under a month. And this one species of bug will come out for like, I think it's like 2 or 3 weeks. It's dormant for 12 years. Comes out for 3 weeks, mates, dies. It's like, its life is sleeping.
And
for
all the
years.
animals eat like fucking crazy.
In that 12 years?
Yeah, like, they eat the carcasses.
Yeah, they say that there's animals who also, have 12-year cycles like that.
Because the cicada population.
And like it just bloats their fucking population because
it's
they
so
eat
weird.
And mate and eat and like.
The 12-year thing.
Biology is
so fun.
Like biology, like when you're looking at like overall like ecosystems and shit, that is the intricacies of populations, and like Australia's a perfect example with all the foreign species they brought in to like, we need to call this population. They bring in whatever species. Now that's an invasive species, and we have to get so like they've learned that you can't fuck with shit because of all the different species that they've brought in that have just fucked everything up. Yeah.
And it's interesting thing with cicadas because it's like we have this one shining example of like this 12-year cycle that they have, and it's like just to take it into a kind of a crazy realm. It's like an interesting discussion to have is about megafauna and how there's not really any around anymore. Like you have whales, essentially like blue whales and stuff, whales that are kind of the only megafauna in the world that are these titanic creatures. But it's like, if you bring into account cicadas, it's like, what if there was an animal that had 100-year cycle or something that it's like we don't. It's like the one human lifespan isn't enough to be able to 2-3 human lifespans isn't enough to record. Yeah, kaiju that aren't enough to record this thing. And it's like you look back in Middle Ages and you have these legends of dragons or like whatever, and you have all these different stories of different things. It's like what if it's like Rain of Fire? You have these creatures that have these
100
cycles. Yeah, these 100
Imagine
cycles.
if you would a movie and it's like Rain of Fire meets Jurassic Park, and we call it Park Fire.
Park Fire. I
Rain
like
of
it.
Park.
Rain of Parks.
Rain of Parks.
Back to that
Park Rains.
point.
Bears in their buttholes.
Well, that scares me.
Going
So
way
that-
back to bears and buttholes and poop, or
No,
we
no.
like
I think, and like salmon migration.
yeah, that's also a pretty
It's
intense
like we
one.
just don't know how it works.
And then why they know how they know where they were born, and why
Ocean
they were,
creatures are fucked because like they
I-
mostly see blue and
ocean
only
is
2 feet in
terrifying.
front of their face. And whales
terrifying.
have 2 eyes on the side of their head, so they don't see nothing. Like this is worth garbage in the animal world. Like this optimal. This is great. Or if you're a bird,
You know what's
this
crazy?
is not bad if you're a bird. But it's like if you're a fucking whale, everything you eat is in front of you. You're gonna bump into shit in front of you. Why do you have your eyes on the side of your head? It's fucking weird.
Do you know that humans have our eyes are sunken in because we got punched in the face so much, like fighting each other, punching in the face. So we have sunken eyes to like protect our eyes
eyes from
from being
fists? But like what? Like for a guy like me though, like
Also-
a fist would never get me in the face.
Also, did you know that?
That's the thing. What if you catch it?
Do you know that chimpanzees like eat monkeys? Like they're cannibalistic, and like there's tons of videos of online. Like it's like their favorite thing to eat. Like they get monkeys, they just rip them the fuck apart and eat them alive.
I just would love it. I just picture this chimp, like its fucking arm, and then the switchblade out. He just slowly draws across the neck of a monkey.
No, it's more like they get excited because they nabbed a monkey and they're all like ripping at it, tearing apart its like organs and shit and eating it because it's like their favorite thing.
Great apes.
And apes are using tools.
Oh, big time there.
big
I'm
time.
walking up right now a little bit. It's not good.
Ape, not want war.
We should break every ape's legs.
Just go around like helicopter into these deep spots and just baseball bat.
Just commando.
Roving.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's like, if we do it, they won't rise up. But if we don't do it,
We don't know
Who
what's
knows?
we don't know what's
It's
happening.
just like all over the world, like hundreds of helicopters.
Apes, like-
It's tough to have an
They are-
uprising if you have broken legs.
They are terrifyingly strong in comparison to us.
Oh yeah.
But maybe we could shame them because they've all got really tiny dicks.
Oh, but they fuck more than we do.
But
Big time.
gorillas only have like a little 1-inch dick.
Yeah, and they don't care.
Yeah, I don't have a fucking 1-inch dick.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't-
Also,
what-
that's weird.
why do
that's
I care?
A huge dick.
Why would you even bring that up?
That's a huge dick for a small animal like that.
I was just saying that's a pretty big dick for the great apes.
Yeah, that's a huge dick for an animal
What
that
are you
small.
talking about?
Like a silverback, you mean? That's
Yeah.
a huge penis for such a small creature.
Let's drop it.
It's a huge penis for such a small creature.
Um,
I would love to see NFL football with silverback gorillas.
they fucking get murdered. How would those?
It would just be like
It would be murder.
No. I mean, 2 teams of gorillas playing.
Playing NFL.
An official game of football.
You could probably, they're intelligent. Like, you could probably get the basic sort of
Gorillas-
rules. in
Gorillas
there.
are entirely vegetarian. Like they're herbivores. The fangs that they have are only for fighting each other.
Really?
Yeah. Like chimps are omnivores. Like they will eat each other, and like monkeys and like whatever. They eat meat. But
Is it weird to me that I'm like, I'm like, yeah, it totally makes sense. A gorilla should be a herbivore. And I'm like, wait, we're omnivores.
Yeah.
Like, we eat meat. Why don't they eat meat? They should start eating meat.
They should start eating meat.
I'm sure if you cooked them like good meat and kept feeding it to them.
I think they're just so tired of raw. They're just like, ugh.
I mean,
They just want a good cooked steak so bad.
the argument that some vocal vegans use is that we aren't predators because we can't eat raw meat. We can only eat cooked meat. So therefore, we shouldn't be eating meat because we can't eat raw meat.
We used to eat raw meat.
That's the thing. It's like just because we've evolved, like that's one of the theories
Also,
as to
you
why
eat raw meat, you fucks. It's way better to cook meat.
Yeah.
Just a little bit though. I eat pretty raw meat.
No, like good quality meat though. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the theory as to how
I can
we
eat
got as
steaky
smart
meat.
as we did. Is because
Your meat shouldn't stink.
cooking protein is what had our brains develop. One of the factors that had our brains develop as much as they did is that we started eating cooked protein and
So should we start feeding cooked proteins to great apes?
and see what happens.
Like start
Man,
just like huge bloats on tons of cooked protein.
that's something that makes me really sad. Again, just like talking about where we spend our money as a species in society. It's like we could be doing some crazy shit right now with animals and like how smart they are. Like chimps and shit, like they're on the verge of speaking and like fucking communicating with us and being another species on this planet that like we can trade with.
No. But we should be harnessing them to use
them.
fight against the aliens.
Sure, but it's like
If you
but
were
I'm saying it's
traveling down the interstate highway in Florida, do not stop at any rest stops. There's a 50-50 chance that an ape with a spear gun shoot you in the face.
Okay, go ahead.
If the United States just 1 year they're like, no military this year, we're just gonna pump all this money into trying to get gorillas to join society.
Then we'd
And-
have,
There's no way you can tell me that they wouldn't.
Well, we could just hook computers up to their brains and speak for them. Like we don't need to wait for them to develop vocal cords.
The thing is, like, we don't. I think they're there.
we don't know what their capacity for abstract thought is. Which
Like,
it's too,
fucking-
we know it's limited, but it's there.
Crows can speak. It's like It's
Crows
like
have
how did we
some
learn to speak? It's like
capacity.
we make all these sounds that are unnatural for us to make. It's like the baseline human noise is like like that's probably the noise we're supposed to be making right now because that's all we need to make. We've like it's fucking crazy. Like if we take a gorilla, we take $40 billion.
One gorilla.
All that money, and it's like speak, damn you. Then it's like
To try to
you
get
can't.
the money.
I just love it's like
you can't
it's
tell
like
me at the end of that year it's not gonna. Speak.
it's like okay, we got a $40 billion budget. It's like, well, what do we do? It's like we'll hire hire the best scientists in the world, like enough that like a room full of them can fit still with the gorilla. It's like, Kate, we only spent $2 billion. Like, what do we do with the other $38 million? Like, buy a bunch of chemicals and microchips. It's like, Kate, we spent like $10 billion. Like, still have another $30 billion. And it's like, we have like just this huge facility, like $40 million. Like, we spent the whole U.S.'s budget, like, and just got like one facility, like, the size of like.
The Apple facility, the new Apple.
No,
facility.
it doesn't need to be that big. Like, I'm talking like the size of a strip mall. It's more than enough to put all this shit in for an ape. It's like,
For one ape?
yeah. Like, you could just put like 8K screens all over all the walls.
But think of the implications. Like this one ape, just at the end of the year, needs to be like, "My name is Coco," and then it's like, this religion, everything is gone.
Yeah.
This changes everything.
We are gods among men
We
now.
are gods. We are the god here.
Did you see that article on the Chive?
And then another ape. That just repost from Reddit.
And like
then the apes fight each other because they have differing opinions, and now we've created
War.
now we've created another society, a civilized society, because now they're fighting over internet.
And do we have to start giving them facilities?
Oh yeah, then they should have all the same rights as us. If they can.
They're already considered non-human persons in some countries.
Well, fuck! It's like the ones that Jane Goodall works with, like Coco. She speaks with her hands. She sign language. It's like it can communicate with us.
It's like, fuck you guys, I'm
in a
fucking-
human dialect. That fucking video, it's so good.
Yeah.
But in human dialect, it's like It should have some rights
limited.
at that
It's
point.
limited, but yes.
But whatever. I don't give a shit if it can communicate with me in that way.
I don't
where
think
it's
there's nowhere you can just turn them into meat, is there? Like I don't think we're allowed to do that anymore.
Well, there's that one.
Oh, in Africa for sure they use chimps and
bushmeat.
gorillas for meat.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Bush
just a
meat.
silverback? Just
They'll eat anything. They're fucking starving there.
here they wouldn't let you do that.
No, here we don't have a lot of gorillas here though.
I'm just saying, like if there was,
What if
a
they
gorilla-
tasted real? How fucked up would that be? It's like we discovered that they're super intelligent, and we're like they're the same as us. We're like, oh, they
delicious.
taste so good.
They probably do. I'd try it.
Oh, I would try it too.
I
Oh.
couldn't. I don't think I could eat a thing that could sign language.
And it's like, and dolphins too is another one that's kind of like they're so intelligent. And they get
It's
depressed
just sinfully
and kill
delicious.
themselves. But yeah.
But they also like rape baby otters and shit.
Yeah, but it's not like
Whatever.
all of them. We rape baby otters too, and you don't see us eating each other. Okay, you fucking look me in the eyes and tell me you've never raped a baby otter.
Never, not once. Never even seen a baby otter.
You heard it here first. Andrew's never raped a baby otter.
Yeah, just wait for the Cosby trials on this one, kids. When all the otters start coming
The
forward.
otter's like, bullshit, motherfucker.
He doped us up with ludes.
Oh no, otters.
Oh yeah, you're wearing a sea otter shirt.
I love sea
Okay,
otters.
now.
Sea otters rape a bunch.
Okay,
Wait
now.
time.
They rape baby dolphins.
Do dolphins?
They'll keep the corpse for weeks to rape it more.
The otters do?
Rape baby dolphins, yeah.
They rape each other's babies.
No, they rape baby dolphins.
No, and then dolphins rape baby sea otters?
I think so, yeah.
They just rape each other's young.
Sea otters and dolphins are in a rape war.
They're in a rape war.
I guess.
Are they both mammals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a mammalic rape.
Every time on Reddit, I'll see like this thing. It posts. It's like, today I learned that sea otters have a favorite rock to keep in a little pouch in their neck. And it's like everyone's like, oh, and then right below that, it's like otters also rape baby dolphins for weeks, and they keep the corpse so they can keep raping it. And it's like,
Also, you can't rape a corpse. Rape.
Yeah.
Rape
It ends when you're dead. Then it's just then it's-
sex. With
sex a corpse. I
What
guess.
is it? What are they? Necrophilia.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's like unless you consented to your body being raped when you're dead, it's still.
But we don't know they didn't consent. The
Yeah.
baby dolphins could have been like, it's okay.
It's okay.
I like it.
Okay, now tell me, Andrew. Are
This isn't good. Whatever's coming next.
Are dolphins more intelligent than the great apes?
I have no idea.
And is there going to be a sea war?
Between what?
The
The
ocean.
great apes and the ocean creatures.
The ocean terrifies me. I think we
And
should just fucking nuke the ocean. Fuck it. I'm terrified of it.
octopuses.
Fucking
are
sharks and
Octopuses are stupid, I think.
Intelligence?
Yeah.
No,
they're
smart.
like
They're highly
hyper
intelligent.
intelligent.
Octopuses?
Yeah,
They
they can
can
figure.
solve
They can figure out if you.
puzzles
Yeah,
and-
if you look at the videos of them solving puzzles and stuff, they solve puzzles faster than like any creature in the world.
Crows. I think crows are like the most intelligent though. They found.
I watched that video where the crow had the meat in the bottle. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah, it uses the. It
It's a
figures out
Figure
how
out
to
to
use
get
the
meat out of the
tools.
ball or
Yeah,
what?
it uses a fucking like
They also like.
wire and bends a wire to a hook and then uses the hook to fish the meat out of a bottle.
Like at that point, it's like we. Can't,
It's like you're the mayor.
crows-
these are people.
Crows also remember if you like feed them and are nice to them, or if you're like mean to them, and they will also like they're also super easy to train. Like they put machines up in parks, and crows cleaned up the litter because they were very
yeah,
easy
and
to
they
train.
get
like,
fucking food
like,
for it.
Trade litter for like whatever crows eat. I don't know, corn, whatever the fuck.
That's currency.
Yeah,
That's
Like an exchange of labor for services for goods.
yes. That's
We're exchanging services
that
for
is
goods.
society. Like we are currently trading with another species.
Crow-ciety.
And what about a battle between the crows, the gorillas, and the dolphins?
There's a lot of moral gray stuff that we just kind of accept every day.
I think most of society is just accepting living in a gray area.
It's gonna be bad in 100 years when they're like chickens wanted to speak to us the whole time.
By then we'll already have lab-grown meat, and it won't even be a thing.
But it's like,
But they'll still
then
look
we're
back
gonna
and
have
be
to start
like, we
paying
were
all these
animals.
people. We're gonna have to start paying all these animal species for the fucking shit. we
God,
did.
just fucking wipe them out. They're
Nuke the
animals.
ocean. I think we should just put Just keep pouring cement mix into the ocean until it's solid.
Good. I would be so happy with that. Like, that place is fucking terrifying and I don't like it.
Just like everybody just keeps backing up dry cement mix and just keep.
I don't care how irrational. It's like, let's go swimming in the ocean. It's like, no, I'm good. Like, there's pools we can go swimming in. Like, I'll stay on the beach. You can go swimming in the ocean. Like, fucking sharks and shit are in there. Like, there's so much poison. There's jellyfish. There's weird fucking... I don't like it. I don't even like thinking about it. I hate it. I hate it.
I think dry mix.
Yeah, whatever we can do to get rid of it, I am 100% for it. It's like the coral... Like the barrier reef in Australia is deteriorating. I'm like, good. First step.
We need to start mega poisoning the oceans.
Get rid of all those sharks.
Everybody needs to start shipping... You know those machines they have in the middle of the ocean that's scooping all the plastic out?
But
we need to start reversing those things and then dumping plastics in, like shipping containers of plastics to just chew plastic up and just...
Whatever gets rid of all that weird fucking shit in the ocean.
Water bottle companies double their production and half of it they never see fresh water. They just get dumped straight in the ocean.
Did you guys see those nets? It's like a net that floats in the water and the water keeps pouring through it and it collects garbage.
Oh, yeah. There was some university student who invented that.
And the university one is invented that solar powered thing that just spins around and like where all the oceans meet.
And it cleaned the one thing he had cleaned up that one harbor in like a week or whatever.
Yeah, like he's gonna have all the oceans clean in like 3 years. Yeah, like it's happening right now.
Al Gore.
Well, except for the fact that microplastics have found their way.
No, that's what he's doing. Cleaning the microplastics out. It can get microplastics out. It's completely solar and
just like we don't even need to worry. Like science will find a way. Like fuck it. Like fossil fuels. Like fuck it. Like we'll figure that shit out. Like
when the demand.
The biggest thing is gonna be lab grown meat, and then we don't have to have a bunch of cows producing methane.
Yeah, but I don't want lab grown meat. I want a good cow's got to die with a bolt gun to the head.
If lab grown meat tastes identical, great. If it doesn't, I have no ethical problem.
You'll be the one with the bolt gun.
Sure, I'd raise my own animals and kill them and eat them. Great, love it. If I had the time and the space and the money, I would absolutely be doing that already. And then, boom. That's the thing that really bothers me about veganism is like, there's no ethical way to eat meat. It's like, no, there's definitely is. You just have to source it yourself. You have to like make sure that you're not going to some crazy factory farm. It's not that difficult, especially in Canada.
Meat is fucking awesome. It is. Meat.
Oh, it tastes really good.
And it's like it's also really good for you to eat meat. Like not eat red meat every day, but like
I say have steak for every meal.
I would if I could.
Your bowels would be so backed up.
No. Red meat has never done that to me.
Red meat has never given me problems digesting.
Have you only eaten red meat for every meal?
I've eaten a lot of red meat in university. I ate a shitload.
Yeah, me too. When I was in college in Vancouver, I used to eat steak every day.
For every meal, like pretty much.
I didn't eat
steak and eggs for breakfast, then raw steak. Steak for lunch.
I still really only eat once a day, twice a day max, and I used to eat steak every day.
When we were in Ontario, you ate steak for every meal for every day for like 3 days that one time.
Yeah,
literally, you literally ate every meal.
Steak
for 3 days. You had steak for breakfast, steak and eggs, steak sandwich, steak.
I had a steak sandwich in a while. I eat a good steak sandwich.
Yeah.
And just recently, really, I cannot highly recommend enough the Ken Burns PBS documentaries that are on Netflix. I started with the Civil War, then I moved on to Prohibition, and then I recently finished one about the Roosevelts, Teddy and FDR, and now I'm moving on to the Wild West. And they are so well done.
Isn't so wild, which is what you'll come to find about the Wild West.
It's actually more wild than we ever imagined.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, and Americans are the only ones that call it the Wild West because everybody else came from the north, the south, and the east, so it wasn't really considered the West. Or the West, I mean.
What I heard is like it wasn't as crime ridden as it's portrayed.
This is pre-cowboys. This is like actually settling, like settlers.
Yeah, like not like wild. Like wild as in like crazy stuff happening. Not wild as in like there's there's so many gangs, and we're always getting robbed all the time. And buckle up, buckaroo.
Buckle up, buckaroo. Anyway, I cannot more highly suggest. Ken Burns, you are an amazing documentarian. It's pretty easy when all you have to do is cut footage together that isn't yours, but...
Well, I would take fucking so much work.
It'd take a long time, but I mean, he just could do it all from a computer.
Footage? In the vein of documentaries, because it's kind of the opposite for a lot of people, I think. What is something that has become increasingly unappealing as you've gotten older? Brad, for sure, staying out past 6 p.m.
Yeah, any sort of club environment or getting drunk past 8 o'clock at the latest is not zero appeal to me. I have no interest other than that. Still like getting drunk in the morning. I like getting drunk in the morning and the early afternoon.
Day drinking.
Yeah, but I do not like being drunk at night.
Being late drunk. What about if you slept all day to prepare for drinking at night?
Still no interest.
No?
No, I don't. I just like...
It would have to be a very specific thing at this
like
point.
a wedding or like...
just a specific thing that you're going to do, yeah. Fran, you're still too young to even answer this question. You're but a boy. You're like what? You're like 19?
How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Tell the audience how old you are.
I'm 13 years old.
Oh, God. Good man.
Oh.
No, I think the last time that we went to Egg Night was the time that I finally have gotten rid of my fear of missing out when it comes to going to the club. Because every time I would have this humming and hawing and like feel bad, like, oh, I don't want to miss. Like, they're gonna do something. It's gonna be so fun. And it's
never.
It's like, and like every time I would go and be like, oh, like, why did I stay? This is not fun. Or I would get way too drunk and it's like, now I don't remember this, and it was also just like
not worth it.
Not worth it. So it's
totally agree.
But like for me, it's like I've always felt that way about it, but now I don't feel like, oh, like I'm missing out, and I feel so bad that I didn't go last night. Or that's just gone.
Yeah.
I'm happy to go have a drink or two, have fun, but not club. Club, I don't feel bad about missing at all.
It's just like it's not all chalked up to me.
Maybe if I was young and attractive, it would be so good.
I just don't think so. I just don't think it is. You have to be in a certain place in your life, I think. Maybe for you. You're young and hot.
Yeah.
Maybe you and your old lady can go to the club and get for you.
Everybody in the club getting... Everybody in the club. And they sit and they dance. And they dance like this, and they dance together. And it's such a good time for them.
I have more important pursuits than your childish games.
No, I like getting drunk once a year, and that really floor licking wasted. And that is a very special thing that's coming around the corner.
Every year, simpler than the last.
Every year, 12 episodes of Christmas fun.
Oh, and Smitty's. I like getting drunk at Smitty's.
That's also. What are we going to do this year? We're going to have to make it more of an event so people will come.
I honestly think 10 will be the last one.
No.
Just let it die out. It's just not happening.
What's this year? This is only 7.
Yeah.
So 3 more years. Okay, I'd be okay maybe with 3 more. We'll see. Like maybe we can get younger generations. Maybe it can be more of a thing. Like, don't let it die.
Just let it die. 10's a good number. 7's a good number.
No, 10.
8. No, this year's 8. Yeah, there's 3 more.
Oh yeah, last year was no.
Yeah.
Oh, because I came for the 5th, 6th, and I've been to 3, and I've been year 5, year 6, and then last year was year 7.
It'd be nice to take Amy to 1. If we can just do 1 more, that'd be nice.
I think 10. I think we ramp it up. And
Did you hear that, Amy? You're until March, baby.
That's a pretty.
You can't leave.
That's whoa! Like you're saying that you're going to be together for at least till March. That's like, when's the wedding, guy?
Have you guys talked about getting married?
Probably a bunch.
We're not married?
Oh, you don't know how that works. In Canada, you have to ask. You don't just make it.
Well, it's way different in South Africa. Mostly it's like you say, you're mine now. And that's what I said.
Pillowcase.
Yeah.
What is it? What's the famous
lied.
What's the famous South African poem for courtship? Roses are red, violets are blue. I have a gun. Get in the van.
What I love when Borat has that sack.
This Pamela, this is for making you my wife.
This is your name. This is my name. This is today's date.
She's like, no, that's okay. And he's like,
consent not necessary.
Yeah, consent is not required.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Puts the thing over.
This is your name. This is my name. This is today's date. Borat's like, this is your name, but I understand.
that is terrifying.
I'm so glad she was in on it.
Speaking of porn stars, what would be your porn name? Like, I'm not talking like street and whatever. Like, what if you could make up a porn name? What would your porn name be?
I don't know.
No.
Tim Bixby?
The African Shiv.
The African shit.
Tim Bixby.
This is the best one. The first one I read it here is Buster Hyman.
But like all male porn actors don't, like Pete North's the only guy with an actual.
The King.
Girth Brooks. Girth Brooks and Buster Hyman are the two best ones I've seen.
I like
Ron Jeremy 2.
Yeah, Peter North.
2.
Peter North.
Ollie North. Ollie North. He's a patriot. And
It was technically high treason.
And now he's on Fox News.
Okay.
Okay.
Going back to Ken Burns.
Okay.
What is your favorite historical period?
Favorite is in most interesting to us?
Yeah. What's the best documentary you've ever watched? How's that?
Ooh, documentary?
Planet Earth or Blue Planet or Walking with Dinosaurs.
Best documentaries and most interesting, or best documentary?
Okay, let's do two categories: best executed documentary you ever watched, and number two, the
most thought-provoking type.
like subject matter that's most important to you.
Planet Earth. I mean,
Planet Earth.
Well,
yeah.
Or Walking with Dinosaurs. Walking with Dinosaurs or Planet Earth.
I would say
most
Planet Earth.
impressive.
Planet Earth for me is like one of my all-time favorites, just because
I haven't even seen Planet Earth 2 yet.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Wait until I have a 4K TV and a 4K Blu-ray player, and then I'm watching Planet Earth 2.
I don't know, like, I really liked the Making a Murderer series. I thought that was, like,
It was really good.
incredibly done, and it was, like, so interesting seeing this, like, just this crazy story. Like, you the whole time you're like, this can't be real. And how they documented it was so well done. So I don't know, that, or I really liked The Red Pill. I thought it was a really fucking well done documentary. Interesting subject matter. And like,
is this like from Are the Red Pill guys?
No, I mean, again, like, they go into it in the documentary, but like, there's kind of two types of men's rights activist people. There's like the people who are like actual activists for men's issues, and then there's people who
want girls to fuck.
Well,
who
who
put in lots of time.
Basically that, like, men, like the pickup artists, I guess, is almost how I would describe it. It's like people who want to like abuse the system that is currently in place, try to find a way to like take advantage of that system to take advantage of women.
Get laid more.
So that's like the people that like the Red Pill on Reddit would be that. And then other men's rights people who are like just advocates for men's issues.
Okay, is this like Morpheus the Red Pill? Is it the idea?
Yeah,
like
that's the idea. Yeah. That's the whole metaphor. And like, again, like, I think that the thing that's interesting about it, this documentary in particular, is that you go into it thinking you know what the men's rights people are like. And then, as well as this person, because it's also about this documentarian's journey, and like her like being a feminist, and like interviewing all these people and how her thoughts on things change, and yeah, it's just an argument that isn't explored, especially in current climate. So it's like, again, they present the men's rights side of the debate as very sympathetic, obviously, because it's the underreported, at least fairly, side of the, not even debate, side of the equation. Yeah.
My favorite documentary as far as subject matter might be a little shallow and pedantic, but I really liked Metal Headbanger's Journey.
That was a good documentary.
By Sam Dunn. Amazing the way he did it. Best executed. I'm not going to say Planet Earth because you guys already said Planet Earth. Also, Planet Earth's like...
It's kind of a different category almost.
It's also easy to execute when you have tons and tons and tons of money. Maybe I'll try and go with some more of like a...
Like World War II in color, maybe, or something like that.
That's fucking incredible, too.
Just Blackface was really good.
I'm going to go Century of Change. And it's the longest documentary ever, I think. Because it's the whole 20th century. And there's like 18 DVDs. And it takes many weeks to watch. But it is so good.
Okay, this is a pretty offensive would you rather. I'm going to preface that right off the bat. It's one that they like to do on Your Mom's House.
What is this? Tell us about Your Mom's House.
It's my new favorite podcast. Maybe almost like it better than the Joe Rogan Experience. But it's my favorite comedian. I think my problem one, definitely top two favorite comedians, Tom Segura and his wife. And it's like an hour and a half. Sometimes they have guests. And they just talk about, it's just silly. They talk about funny shit. They always start with a clip. So some random clip from the internet. And they just laugh about stuff. And one of the things they like to ask their guests is, would you rather be retarded or have your grandfather jerk you off on a Ferris wheel, but after he jerks you off, you get a funnel cake?
Grandfather jerking you off, retards forever.
And both of them, in this scenario, because the recent one I listened to, it's like now. It's like you're retarded from now on, and like your grandfather, assuming he would be alive if he's not alive, would jerk you off like tomorrow.
Oh, grandfather jerking you off. Because like even if it was now, then you'd be in a mental state where you're not still developing, so it probably wouldn't have the long lasting.
Right, but you have to finish, and like how long would it take you to fucking achieve orgasm now?
Less time than the rest of my life being retarded. For sure.
Yeah, I would let my grandpa jerk me off big time.
And you get a funnel cake after.
I can't do the retarded thing. Like
you get to
nothing
you get
can
to
stop me from
you get to
achieving my
jizz
goal.
and you get a cake.
I have to raise my son, so I can't. That's not even an option for me. But isn't there the argument that, like, if you're retarded, like, do retarded people know they're retarded? Like,
but I can't. Nothing can hamper me from achieving my goals.
But you could just be like, you wouldn't even have those goals. You wouldn't know. Like, you would just be carefree. Like, you wouldn't have to worry about anything anymore.
I mean, you'd be dead too. And you also wouldn't have to care.
Okay, yeah. That's true. I think it's pretty unanimous, but I thought there'd be a little bit more humming and hawing.
They always ask that one?
Not always. It's one of their favorite ones.
I honestly think the best one ever is grandma. Good hand job, or good blowjob, or bad blowjob.
Yeah, it is very.
That's
a tough one to go with.
Yeah.
It's a hard pill to swallow, that one. If it's the first time you've ever heard that, like, that's a tough one.
But I gotta think, like, if you were younger when your grandpa jerked you off, you would come quicker because you're still, like, any sexual contact when you're younger and still developing, like, it's like, it gets you going. Like, now it's, when you're older and you've had sexual experience, like, it's not like you pop random boners and, like,
you just close your eyes and be like, that's a hot chick. Imagination's a powerful thing.
I think wrinkly hands, like, that would not be possible, I don't think.
I could do it.
It would be very tough to get off. You're right.
It would be so tough.
I think you talk a big game now, but once your grandfather gets his greasy paws on your crank.
15 minutes, I'd be so fucking tired. I'd be like, oh, this is so fucking stupid. And then I'd be like, okay, now I'm really going for it. Imagination. We're really fucking going for it. Wouldn't take max 45 minutes for anybody. Max. There's no way you're going to be sitting there for 20 minutes. You'd just be so fucking sick of it after 20 minutes. Of being like,
well, that's the whole thing.
First 10 minutes, you'd be like, oh, this is fucking fucked up. This is so fucked up. We're never going to be able to get past this, me and you. And after 20 minutes, you'd be like, we've been sitting here for 20 fucking minutes.
Here's a complete game changer, and where I maybe sway the other way. If you have to kiss him.
If he wants it, yeah. He's in control of the situation.
Yeah, well, see, as soon as I have to start, like, getting intimate about it.
Like, maybe he kisses your neck a little bit.
Yeah,
like
no, then I'm retarded. No, my goals don't matter. He can't kiss my neck. It's too intimate.
It's whatever that...
It's too much like my childhood. I can't let it happen again.
Oh, God.
I can't let it happen again.
That's such a bad thing to say.
Yeah.
It's not true, but it's funny that you said it.
I can't let that happen again. How much time we got, kid?
None.
Oh, yeah, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to the show.
Bye.
13.